Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Lukens. I'm a clinical psychologist. I've been working in the field of addiction treatment for about a decade now, and I've been a clinical psychologist for about 30 years. Over the course of my career, I've treated thousands of people with addiction and addiction-related problems. I want to speak to you today about the state of affairs in the addiction treatment industry. So why is the state of affairs so abysmal? I think first and foremost, the problem is the operator owners in this industry. By and large, and I actually have a perspective from behind the scenes, I'd say by and large, the mentality of the owner-operator is continuously a matter of putting profits ahead of people. So very little attention is paid to improving the quality of care over time. It's as if they recognize there's no money in it, and that's what's important. They tend to villainize the insurance industry, claiming they're sort of victimized by the practices of the insurance companies. But of course, if you speak to representatives from the insurance industry, it's just the opposite. They recognize the profiteering underlying the practices of the owner-operators and the unscrupulous and sometimes criminal activity that these owners engage in, and the cost that this then transmits essentially to everyone. Because obviously if they're ripping off insurance companies, the insurance company's passing the cost of that along to its customers, to its subscribers. And the way that I sort of think of this is an analogy. Imagine a department store that realized that they were losing 40% of their profits to shoplifting. And so, finding themselves unable to rein in the shoplifting, they pass the cost of that on to the consumer. That's kind of what's happening in this cat and mouse dance between the owners and the insurance industry. So, how does this get corrected? Well, obviously we need to invite and support owners who aren't doing that, who have a different kind of mindset, who are willing to put people ahead of profits. That's the first order of business. In case you didn't realize this, the FBI is quite interested in this industry, and they're looking to crack down on some of these practices, and I support that wholeheartedly. I hope they clean up some of the mess here. Meanwhile, if we're actually, as owners and operators, beginning to prioritize quality of care, there's no reason why we shouldn't get more and more cooperation from the insurance industry. It's really a matter of monies being well spent, and if in fact we enter into this kind of win-win solution, this commitment to finding win-win solutions, then I think the collaborative spirit will actually keep costs down even while the quality of care continues to improve. At the Lukens Group, we've established a small teaching hospital. It's an arena in which I want to test out the theory that I've developed over the course of the last 30 years that for me explains how come addiction happens and what we have to do to resolve it and actually support people in achieving a full recovery. After all, isn't that the goal? So in this teaching hospital, we're not looking to make a giant sum of money and profit. What we're looking to do is function as a viable business, the focus of which is testing and improving practices that will support better outcomes. Now, that seems to be common sense to me, but I'm a scientist. And again, this is one of the problems in the addiction industry. There's been very little attention being paid to the scientific method. There's been very little in the way of science that has actually been brought to bear in this field. So we seek to do this, provide the treatment, make some profits in order to support the survival of the teaching hospital, and we've created a not-for-profit foundation that will support the ongoing training and the ongoing research, so that analogously, as has happened in the field of cancer treatment, the the rigorous application of science and the scientific method has improved our outcomes steadily over the course of the past few decades, which we can't say is the fact or the case inside the addiction treatment industry. So I'm calling upon you today to join us in our effort